There's no such thing as products for 4C hair. Yes, I said it and you heard me correctly. At best, 4C is a curl pattern, and curl patterns don't tell you what your hair needs. They just tell you how your hair looks. So now I have a question for you. Do you actually know your hair type? Because if you're still choosing products based on what worked for someone else on TikTok, or if you've been stuck in a cycle of trying new routines that never work for your hair, this video is going to clear that all the way up. We're going way beyond the 3A, 4C conversation. I'm talking about curl pattern, porosity, density, texture, and what actually matters when it comes to choosing the right products and building a routine that works. Grab a notebook if you're serious about figuring out your hair, and let's get into it. First, let's start with the most popular, but also the most misunderstood piece of the puzzle, curl pattern. You've probably seen the 2A to 4C chart online. It's become the standard for identifying texture. But here's the problem. Curl pattern only tells you the shape of your curl, and that's fine for styling purposes, but it tells you almost nothing about what your hair actually needs. You can have 4C hair that's dry and fragile. You can also have 4C hair that's strong and resilient. Same pattern, totally different needs. For example, looser curls may clump differently, and tighter coils may need more moisture during the detangling process. But if you're only focused on curl pattern, you're missing the bigger picture. So don't stop there. Let's dig deeper. Now let's talk about porosity. This is one of the most important aspects of your hair type and is also one of the most misunderstood. Porosity is your hair's ability to absorb and retain moisture. There are three levels: low, normal, and high. Let's break them down. Low porosity hair has a tightly closed cuticle layer. Water tends to bead up on the surface before it sinks in, and when you apply products, they often sit on the hair instead of being absorbed. High porosity hair, on the other hand, has gaps or holes in the cuticle. This is usually due to damage, heat, or chemical treatments. It drinks up moisture fast, but loses it just as quickly. Normal porosity hair is right in the middle. Moisture goes in and stays in relatively well, not too hard, not too easy. So why does this matter? Because if your porosity is low and you're loading your hair with heavy oils and creams, you're probably blocking moisture from getting in. And if your porosity is high and you're skipping protein treatments, your hair may feel soft when wet, but brittle and weak when dry. I did a full video on porosity and how to determine yours, so you can watch that later. I'll leave it in the show notes. Next up is density. Density refers to how many strands of hair you have on your scalp, not how thick each strand is. You can have fine hair with high density or coarse hair with low density. Here's how to check. Look at your scalp without parting your hair. If you can see a lot of scalp, you may have low density. If you see a mix, some scalp, but a lot of coverage, you're likely medium density. And if it's hard to see your scalp at all, even when it's dry and not styled, you most likely have high density. Why does this matter? Because it affects how much product you need, it impacts how full or flat your styles look, and it tells you how to care for your scalp. Someone with high density may need to section their hair more during wash day, while someone with low density might need to go lighter on products to avoid greasy looking or weighed down hair. So again, one person's holy grail product might completely flop on you, and it has nothing to do with the product itself. It's all about your density. Let's talk about texture, not the look of your curls, but the diameter of your individual hair strands. You can have fine hair, which feels soft and delicate and is easy to break, but also easy to weigh down. Medium hair, which holds styles pretty well and responds predictably to products, or coarse hair, which feels thicker to the touch, can be strong, but also resistant to moisture or styling. And a common misconception that is important to note: hair texture is not determined by race. There are black women with fine strands and white women with coarse strands. Texture varies widely. Here's a simple test you can use to help determine your hair's texture. Take a strand of hair and roll it between your fingers. If you barely feel it, most likely it's fine. If it feels like a thread, it's medium. If it feels wiry or strong, it's probably coarse. This matters because fine hair often needs lightweight moisture and gentle manipulation. Coarse hair can tolerate more structure, but may also need longer moisture retention routines. When it comes to manipulation, think of fine hair as a delicate necklace. Those necklaces are very dainty and you have to be careful because they break easily. The same goes for fine hair. Quick break here. If you find this video helpful so far, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you need a resource to help you track your healthy hair journey, including what products you're using, pictures to document the growth, and resources and helpful tips, be sure to check out the show notes and grab your healthy hair planner. By now, you've probably realized that knowing your hair type is about way more than just 4A, 4B, 3C. So let me break it down like this. Your curl pattern tells you how your hair looks and styles. Your porosity tells you how your hair absorbs and holds moisture. Your density tells you how much product you may need and how styles will look. Your texture tells you what your hair can physically handle. And when it comes to choosing products, building a routine, or even setting realistic expectations for your hair, porosity and texture will guide you far more than curl pattern ever will. Let me repeat that. Porosity and texture will guide you far more than curl pattern ever will when it comes to choosing products, building a routine, or even setting realistic expectations for your hair. So now I want to hear from you. What did you discover about your hair today? Drop it in the comments. Let's talk about it. If this video helped you finally to start decoding your hair type and you're ready to stop wasting money on products that don't work, hit the subscribe button because we're just getting started. I want to thank anyone who has ever liked a video, shared a video, or taken the time out to leave a comment. It truly means the world to me. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.